Hey guys, Levi here. Starting up a series of videos to help out the Wish knife buyer. Not going to do a lot of any other products really, unless it kind of is along the same lines or, you know, in the weapon world or whatever. But we're going to focus right now on pocket knives and everyday carry knives and even fixed blades or whatever. Start things off, I do want to say that this is not a true unboxing and a reveal for you guys. I'm like a child at Christmas. I get it in the mail, I'm going to open it up, I'm going to look at it, and I don't have time to just stop, drop, and do a video when I do it. But I did open up the first one I ordered. Couldn't pass this up. It's a fake inferior. We'll call it a Benchmade inferior 3300, but if we can get it up in the camera here, it's got a little wear on it already. To the untrained eye, this might just be the Benchmade infidel, but to us knife guys that really know our knives and really have held them and looked at them and studied them, clearly it's not. I'm going to do another series of videos on just how good these knives are for everyday use. Okay, so there's that. But the main point of this video is, you know, a lot of people will go on Wish and they know it's too good to be true. They know that what they're buying is inferior to the, you know, the true knife, or is it? What we run into, like you'll see in here, is there's knives that look, and the steel looks pretty good. We're talking like the handles, the scales, you know, even down to the clips, the blades, what blades are in there, like what steel are they using. You know, this says D2 on it. I can tell it's not D2 by looking at it. It doesn't even sharpen that well. It's 440 all day long. I think it's a lower end 440, but you know, it's still a good blade steel for things, you know, like if you're in an environment that there's a lot of salt water or, you know, exposure to moisture or things around a shop that might be, you know, hazardous to knife blades or steels, you know, even your hands. 440 is not a bad steel. It's just a budget steel for a budget knife. But we'll get into that probably in another video. Maybe touch base on that a little bit more in this video. I don't know, we'll see. Just kind of winging it. Got a couple things to go through here. I'm not gonna lie, there's a couple of knives in here that I am, and these two right here I'm very impressed with as a knife. But anyway, so I got my coffee and I got everything stacked up here. To start off though, the inferior wannabe infidel did come in a pretty serious box though. Okay, it's a sleeve. It comes off as very Benchmade-y, all the way down to labels and descriptions, design. Let's get a look at this one. Here's your design here, you know, barcodes. It's pretty close. I mean, it's not a bad little box, not a bad little display. You know, it comes with your sheath, MOLLE compatible, handbook for your inferior knife. I mean, they really went all the way, I wouldn't say 100% on the box, but it went pretty close. Sheath, same crappy sheath you'd pretty much get from them anyway. It works, it holds it. It just, you know, I make custom holsters and sheaths for knives, and I'm not about nylon really, but that's my personal preference. But anyways, so Benchmade inferior. We're not going to call these things what, you know, they call them. We're going to call them what they are. It's not a Benchmade. It's definitely, there are some clones on there on wish.com that they got some pretty close looking straight up, you know, out the front knives that are very similar. There's still a couple little things, if you know what you're looking at, they're not the same knife. But you know, like here we got the clip. Now this is a good deep pocket clip. This is pretty hardcore. Now a real Benchmade infidel, the butterfly will be right here, also down here on the bottom of the clip. And it'll say infidel, and it'll look worn. It'll be new, but it'll be worn looking. That's kind of the way they do it. And they also don't have the glass breaker, but this comes with a glass breaker, so kind of a bonus. Skull crusher, you know. But anyway, I actually like this knife. In another video, a buddy of mine and I are going to do a series of videos on these knives on everyday carry for EDC. How they perform, and you know, how easy is it to sharpen or not. So we'll cover a lot of things in those videos, but right now, today I'm just going to kind of do a pseudo unboxing. All right. This next one is the Benchmade Bug-Out. Cats are here. The Benchmade Bug-Out. I'll call this one the Benchmade Fakeout. For the money, I spent before shipping, and we know shipping's cheap on Wish. It's like $3 to $5, maybe $9, depends. But I think I paid $24 for this knife altogether, shipped to my door, and it came early, way earlier than they said. But let's take a look at this box. Now this is a very impressive box. This is pretty close to the actual Benchmade Bug-Out box that I've seen. This is actually a pretty nice knife. We got some labeling here. All right. Now, they even recycle. They say they do. Okay. So I don't know if they're just stealing Benchmade boxes, or they know someone that's making them and they're taking them, or they're just, you know, doing the right job, you know. Okay. So when you open this up, this is what you see. You got a little baggie in there. I don't know why you'd carry that, but little baggies are cool. Maybe some of you pot smokers or whatever would like to have little baggies like that. Or maybe you just want to put, like, you know, little trinkets in there, you know, little collector things. Put it in your little Benchmade bag. I don't know. But what I do like is the foam that this comes in this box. I don't think I've seen in other Benchmade boxes. This is actually a very high quality foam in my opinion, and it's cut out for the knife. It's in plastic. Well, I'm going to take it out. I got the blue because this is the most recognizable Bug-Out knife. This is the blue one. They have other colors that I actually like better, but I do like the blue okay. All right. Now you can tell that this is pretty anodized blue, but to the untrained eye, this looks like the Bug-Out. It's got the anodized flip screw. It's got the axis lock. If you notice on the back end of the tang, well, the scales at the lanyard hole, there's only 2 holes. Okay, of all the Benchmade Bug-Outs I've seen, there are 3 holes. Right here. The clip is pretty legit. It looks just like the clip, and it performs like there's no, I'm not going to lift that hardly. I mean, if you had a feeler gauge in there just now, we're talking 64 thousandths of an inch that I can pull on this before it starts digging into my finger. I mean, it's going to grip your pocket pretty good. Now this is a good handling knife, but we all know the Bug-Out has plastic, some kind of poly plastic handle, fiber poly plastic handle, scales. These are aluminum, but the fit and finish on this is pretty good. I don't know if you can see that too well. I'm trying. That's pretty straight. The barrel spacers are not matching color like on the actual Benchmade. They're black. But the fit and finish is pretty nice, and there is no play whatsoever. And I want to show you how sharp this knife is. I did not sharpen this knife, okay? I mean, look at this. Out of the box. Very impressive for a Chinese $20-some fake out. Benchmade fake out. The old Benchmade fake out. But back to this box. If you do want to put it away and put it somewhere and you want to keep it, it has a very nice form-fitting foam. The old Triple F. And this is going to go on the video. I'm going to use this knife for the next week or two. I'm going to use it, not abuse it. I'm still going to treat it like a high-end, nice knife, but I'll put it up against, you know, a Bug-Out. But I just don't know if this is really, there's just no way it's S30V. But it acts like it so far with that slicing we just saw. So let me use it for a week, see how long that edge holds up, what kind of retention we have. And then when I go to sharpen it, let's see how well it sharpens. Because the blade geometry is right. I mean, that's shave sharp. Like a baby's Bolton. I mean, it's gross, but I mean, look at that. So, I mean, I can line my beard up with this thing. Yeah, so I'll strap it next week and we'll see how it does. And on the next video with me and Cliff, I'll shave my neck with it. I'll grow a little neck beard and we'll line up the old neck beard with this Bug-Out, fake out. I'm coining that, by the way. I'm going to try and come up with a little faux name for these fake ass knives from wish.com. But I'm going to be honest. So far, I'm liking this knife. I love the way it feels. It is light, just like the Bug-Out. Not as light, but it's pretty light. And it feels really good in the hands. And I'm actually looking forward to carrying this every day. Clearly, it's sharp. The steel does not look like your 440 shit steel. This actually looks like some pretty good steel. I have this knife right here is 440. I'll try and get it up close for a comparison. This is stone washed, by the way, so this is going to look a little different, but probably can't tell too much, but we'll get some better close-ups too. I'll use the other camera and we'll see what happens. Back in the box. Very impressed with this Benchmade fake out. If you hear anybody else say it, I said it first. I even put it online a while back. So, on someone else's review. There's other reviews of the knife, actual reviews of the knife online, but they're unboxing reviews, which I don't think is fair. I want to do an unboxing show and tell review. We're going to use these knives all week. Then we're going to bring them back. And me and Cliff are going to talk about how good these knives are. And if we like them or not. And if we're happy with the purchase. Because I don't have $500 to buy a real infidel. or $426. Not that it isn't worth it, because D2 steel is nice strong steel, but you can get an out the front knife with D2 steel from a few companies and it won't be no $460. Anyway, I digress. I'm going to go back to Microtech. Now, I like Microtech out the front knives. The Ultratech is a cool knife. So, Wish.com has one that was actually looked like blanks. Didn't have the little claw, didn't have any emblems or anything like that. They just had the knife. The looks like the Ultratech is what it is. So we'll call it the Ultrafake. So we've got a Microtech Ultrafake here. It's got to be fake. The sleeve, I don't think Ultratech, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I don't believe Ultratech does a sleeve. I think they give you a nice flip open box, not like what we're about to see here. But they're making some kind of effort. Okay? I doubt it's made in the USA. I'll tell you what, if I like these knives so much and I want to pull the trigger on one, I'll eventually do it. I'll just tell my wife I spent what I spent on these for it. Or I got one of the fake ones and then I get a real one for 400 and some odd dollars. And then I can just be like, babe, it's that Wish knife I bought. There's got to be a way I can do it where it's not lying. Like Wish knife first, sneak in the Ultratech later. We'll see. Anyway, correct me if I'm wrong, Ultratech does not do this sleeve box combo. And if they do, it doesn't look like this. Anyway. Still hair on the from that last knife. Okay. But it is a decent little box. It is reminiscent of the way they do open. Okay. Got another nylon case for carry. Okay. Let's go a little deeper in the box though. What's in here? You get a tool. Cool. Don't want to lose that because I just don't have a tri-wing tool laying around. Alright. Nothing special about the box except it holds stuff. Okay, the classic Microtech Ultratech pamphlet inside. I don't know how real or legit this one is. It seems faded. Notice though it is sectioned, cut out at a 45-degree angle, just like the pamphlets in the real Ultratech Microtech knives boxes that I've seen. Okay, since 1994. I mean, this looks pretty legit. This is warranty information. Don't be an asshole and try and fill this out and say you bought this and you want to, you know, you're going to send it in. They're going to say this ain't our knife. But they're trying. I mean, this is signature stuff right here. It comes in the box for these knives. Now, I ordered the Tanto Blade. I like Tanto Blades. I think they look cool. Comes in a pouch with bubble wrap. Don't mind if I do. I feel so much better now. Here's the tool. Definitely don't want to lose that. Like I said, don't just keep, you know, I got about $50,000 worth of tools at the shop I work at. None of them can take the screws out of this knife without screwing it up. So keep that. All right, let's take a look at it. I think it looks great. Now with most clones or fake knives, you know, they don't do it justice. With like that infidel I showed you earlier. Let me just go back to that real quick and make a point. Look at the podium jimping on the actuator button. I sanded all the paint off to get that natural aluminum look and filed it to make it a little bit more aggressive to the touch for the thumb, okay? So that's, I have to embellish things like, you know, this some I do. A lot of people do that. So I mean, the podium jimping, I think I heard the guys at Ultra Blades or one of those sites that they sell a lot of good knives for a good price. Hope I'm not breaking any rules there, but who gives a shit. But anyways, okay, so I sharpened that up a little bit, made it a little bit more aggressive for the thumb, for the old thumbprint. And I shouldn't have to do that. If it's a decent made knife, you know, you shouldn't have to do all that. But this one, that jimping is very crisp, detailed, and has a fine edge to it, just like the real Ultratech. So let's take a look at this blade now. Okay. Now it says on the blade M390. Now some of Ultratech's blades are M390. I think they have a couple of different blade steels that they use, but I know they have an M390. Now this looks like a good steel. It looks better than 440. Little satin finish. Put my big forehead in there, maybe it'll focus. Okay. Now I'm not a big fan of that. It doesn't look like a Microtech skull crusher or glass breaker, but it'll do. The clip is pretty close. To the untrained eye, you probably wouldn't even notice. But the feel of the handle, I mean, it feels pretty close to it. I mean, it's pretty much right on the money. This is aluminum scales. It's very light. I mean, it has some soul to it. It feels good in the hand. It's very light. That retraction and the blade shooting out feels really good. I don't know how sharp this is though. Let's see how sharp this is. I hope it's as sharp as the fake out, but we'll see here. Okay, now that looks impressive on the video probably, and it sounded okay, but there's a little bit of a drag to it. The fake out didn't have that drag, but man, that's pretty sharp for another very sharp clone. The reason why I care about that is because I find that most clones or most Chinese made throwaway knives are fairly dull. I mean, sometimes they're sharp enough to cut you, but a sharp enough dull knife will cut you. But this looks sharp, doesn't feel quite as sharp as the fake out, but it's sharp enough. I mean, if someone came in here right now and had meant me a harm, this thing will do some work. This will do some damage. What do I like about it? It does look just like a Ultratech. Got the blacked out tri-wing screws. We have the little famous claw. Now when I ordered it, it didn't have the claw. So if you guys see them online, they don't have the claw. And then you look in the review section and the guys are holding these with the claw. So I got one with the claw. I think the X shows up on the actual Ultratechs. I'm not positive on that. Don't quote me on it. But I mean, I'm really liking this knife. I can't wait to carry it all week. I didn't spend $260 plus all the way to $1,200 for a Ultratech. But if I love this knife, like I think I'm going to, I might just do a little switcheroo later. But yeah, I'm liking it. Very smooth. The finish on this, even the lines, okay, where the scales go together, very fit finish. The jimping is lined up because you know this is a layered piece, two pieces coming together. I took the inferior, the Benchmade inferior apart, and it's pretty, you know, it's your everyday run-of-the-mill out the front knife. So eventually I'll take this apart, maybe we can look at the guts, but the finish on this is real nice. You can almost see the brush pattern underneath the paint or the powder coating, whatever they're using here. It's very fine, not smooth, 100% smooth. It's just, it feels like 12,000 grit or smoother, but I mean, I'm really liking it. And all the grind lines here. Okay, like our bevel. Obviously it's a hollow grind, it looks like. That hollow grind looks pretty decent. Let's see if we can get a... It's going to be hard to do that, but... And then the actual edge is pretty decent. That Tanto line looks real good, that angle there. Now this is a light piece, but it's got a little weight to it, enough to make you feel like you're holding a knife. And I really like this. I can't wait to carry this around. I think this is the modeled after the Ultratech. It's not a Ultratech UTX 85 or 70, obviously. It looks like a full-size clone here. So we got the Ultratech, Microtech Ultrafake. We'll call it the Microtech Ultrafake. But I'm really liking this. I'm liking the action on it. Very crisp, very smooth. I mean, you feel it stop, you feel it open, you feel it close. But you don't have to put too much. Like, I like a little weight on my actuators. This one has way more trigger pull to it. Okay? This one's a little bit less. But it still feels like a good solid push, and then it's going to pop out. I mean, it's just real fast and crisp. I like that. I like it a lot. Now the blade play thing, you know, this has about as much blade play as all the ones that I've ever messed with. I mean, that's to be expected with almost any out the front knife. I think Ultratech had one of these that were pretty tight. They were, I don't know if it's a Troodon. I'm not positive, but maybe you guys would know. If any of you own the actual $600 knife, you can tell me how the blade, but even they have blade play. But this guy right here, I was very impressed with the lack of blade play for what it is. I mean, it's got blade play. Okay, but it's not a, who's that, GG? Those guys over at Hawk Lock or Deadlock knives, or anyways, it's a $2,000 out the front knife that has no blade play because they got a patented little apparatus in there that holds that blade down and involves bearings and whatnot. These don't have that. And there are very expensive high-end $2,000, close to $2,000, you know, $1,600 and up OTF blades that do have play in them. So it's not a big deal. You're going to have that no matter what. I'm just, with these two knives so far, I'm just impressed with the amount of blade play that they have. It's not a lot. So I spent $32 on this knife. Okay, I think after taxes, well, not taxes, but shipping, I think we're sitting at 48. Now you say, well, that sounds kind of low price for that knife on wish.com. Well, use your daily login bonus. Use the other codes. Sometimes they let you double up on your codes. And then you go into your points. Before you know it, you've racked up tons of points on wish.com. You know, I had like 3,000 some points that came out of nowhere because I bought a few things. And whenever I do a review on Wish, I do a video review. That's an extra 20 points. When you spend a certain amount of money, that's a certain amount of points. So that all goes to lowering the price of the whatever it is you're buying. So for me, I mean, I think I was able to knock down one time I was able to, I think it was on this knife that I knocked off another 20 bucks altogether. So it came down to about $32 and some change. I might have hit 40, not even 40 bucks out the door. Okay. So I don't feel bad about that, because this feels like a good knife that I can carry with me. And, you know, if I got to fight somebody, I think this is going to work out pretty good. If I need to cut a rope, it's definitely sharp enough. I'm going to strop it and see if I can get a little sharper. Maybe I'll attempt to shave, line up the old beard with this one, the old neck beard. Maybe I'll slit my throat. I don't know. We'll see. But let's hope not. But anyway, that's going to kind of complete the video on these Wish fake clones. People like to think that maybe, oh, they're just cutting out the middleman, and I'm going to save a bunch of money. I'm going to save, you know, 98%. You know, no, you're not. And if you actually do get, if any of these are real, I will slit my throat. But I gotta say, that blade is very impressive. It doesn't feel like SV MV90 or whatever it was, and that one doesn't look like, the fake out doesn't look like SV30. I mean, it looks like it could be, but I don't know. But I know that these are not 440 or in the 400 series at all. And I have a whole bunch of CRKTs, and I have a whole bunch of SOG. I had a few Kershaw knives, the ones that didn't fall apart, that I had to put back together with, you know, Loctite and whatnot. That actually, the steels were, you know, they're not your highest end steel, even though you spend almost $100 on a knife, but you're getting the 8 chromos and the 1 CR and, you know, the Chinese stainless steels that are better than this. But these look like they could be a little bit better steel than that. But use will tell. Using these knives will tell. So, give me another week or so. The 3 of you that might watch this video between now and then, I will have more info. My buddy Cliff, who's also a major knife guy, he loves knives. He's built a couple knives. You know, he's bought kits, you know, high-end kits, and built his own knives. I've built a few of my own knives from scratch, not pocket knives yet, but I've built some fixed blade. So we're big, you know, knife guys. We love knives. Love knives. I have some knives, pocket knives that my grandfather gave me in 1987 when I was 5, you know. I have some handmade knives that my other grandfather had given me before he passed away. So it's always just been a thing, a passion of mine. So it's just kind of fun to just go buy these clones, the Clone Wars, and let's, you know, see how good these knives are. So I will be using them. I'm in the automotive industry. I fix cars for a living, and I'm a shop foreman, and I use a pocket knife every single day. I even look for excuses to whip it out and use it. So I'm going to be using this one, the inferior Benchmade, fake made inferior 3300. I'm going to do a little review on this knife. I'm going to do a oil filter stab in the video. And I'm probably going to do I haven't seen anyone else do it. I'm going to line up the old beard and try not to slice my face or neck open. So I'm going to definitely sharpen the Microtech, the Microtech Ultrafake a little better, and do that. And we'll just see how that steel holds up. So that's what I'll be doing. See you guys soon. Hope you enjoy the video. Like and subscribe. Cliff and I will be back in about a week or 2, maybe sooner, and let you know how well these knives fared out against, you know, our work atmosphere and our lives. So we'll see you guys soon.